Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms and Things. Yes, this is Isms by Josie, and I'm doing a video on my other channel, Isms and Things, because today we're going to be doing a drawing of myself as a superhero. This challenge was asked of from Artsy DSC, and she is an amazing artist, and she actually has a contest going on till the end of March 10th to draw yourself as a superhero. So if you want to check her channel out and look at her the video of her contest, I'll try to see if I can put it in the cards. I've never done that before, but we'll see. If not, I'll put a link in the description box below. But so on my other channel, Isms by Josie, I do strictly like nail videos, and I wanted to do like a fun trailer for my channel since I don't have one yet, and I thought how fun would it be to draw myself as a superhero to go along with this contest and used it as a trailer for my other channel. So I came up with this like warrior princess type persona. I have a bow, and then I'm gonna have super long nails, which is gonna look more like Wolverine style like, but the idea behind it was to envision myself as a hero, and I think everybody is a superhero in their own right. And on my channel where I do nails, I'm killing it and slaying so many nail designs. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave I guess my playlist in the cards. Haven't done that. If not, I'll leave a link to my channel in the description box below. So yeah, because I just do strictly nails on that channel, I decided to put this onto my isms and things because, as you know, things can mean a lot of things. So in my drawing, I have my logo here, and I wanted to draw that onto her bodice. So she's gonna have this kind of latex suit going on. You'll also see some cameos from my friend Dexter there. He's a black domestic short hair, and he loves to get into my videos sometimes. So always be on the lookout for him in my videos. If you've watched the previous, maybe the first or the second tasting videos that my husband and I have done, he shows up in there, of course, so if you want to take a look at that. But yeah, so we're just gonna continue on with this, and I sped this up. So I was trying to figure out what I was going to do, and so I was just doodling some shapes just to lay out the look of the body and how I wanted the body to be posed. And when it got to a point where I was like, okay, I like what I'm doing here, rather than redraw it because that's so difficult for me to do, I just started off with what you saw in the beginning of the video, and we're just gonna be moving on from there. So if you're still tuned in right now, thank you so much for joining in. And for any new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, like, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So this came in like 4 steps if you haven't been noticing. Me like, using my fingers to show what steps I'm doing. Right now I am just trying to figure out the hair situation. I want some accent pieces so that it looks like hair. and I'm just going to outline this right now. So at the moment, everything's just a little light, and I always want to start out a little light just because if I don't like something, it'll be easier to erase than not. In my previous days, I've had different hardnesses of lead pencils, and I guess over time I must have just given them away or lost them. So today I'm just using a regular number 2 pencil that you can buy in the store. But normally when I use my drawing pencils, depending on the hardness, sometimes it's really hard to erase what you've drawn. So always when you initially sketch, to sketch with a soft pencil just so you can erase what you're doing later. And because I'm only using a number 2 today, I'll be going back in on my final step to darken up these lines. So for now, everything's going to be faint, but rest assured, if you stay tuned to the end of this video, you'll be able to see my creation. So I love to draw. I've been drawing obviously since, preschool would allow, but it was one of those things that I love to do. And I took several art classes thereafter, post high school. And sadly enough, you just don't use it again. But in like riding a bike, I mean, if you have the talent, it's just there. My skill is probably not as good as it used to be just because, you can have talent, but technique is taught, and it only gets better over time. So if you don't, you know, practice drawing often, then your skill is not really, it kind of diminishes over time, especially if you forget. I actually almost forgot how to draw bodies, and my first draft I scrapped because it just looked horrible. So, I mean, not horrible, it's just proportion wise, and I don't really remember the proportions. All I remember is, when you're doing bodies, you have to kind of circle or oval out the body parts, and I completely forgot how the formula goes. And same thing with faces. Maybe if this video is any help to anybody, I can totally show how to draw faces in proportion, because that part I remember. That was one of my difficult things to do, which is probably why I left the face blank for this drawing. But when I was taking art classes, there's actually a way to make the facial features proportionate to each other. But also, aside from that fact, I left the face blank because this can be anybody. I think if, when you have a particular look for a superhero, then you're kind of locked into who that person can be. If you kind of leave a blank canvas, um, then it could be anybody. So I'm going to leave that empty today. And even though it's me being a superhero um, with a bow and long nails, it could be anybody really. So, also, since I was kind of constrained for time because I really just wanted to get this out of the way, um, I get a little pressured when it's something like this, like a contest. But the suit, the dress, well, not the dress, but the costume, I guess, that I'm wearing here, it looks pretty cool, but I think in the real world, when you actually make it, especially in those, latex suits that you see in the movies, there's some functionality and reality to the design. And I think that if I were to design this thing that I'm doing now, that's the image of my logo, I wouldn't know what all the stuff would be made of and how it would look. Obviously, there would be something around the back, but there seems to be not. So And that's why I'm not a fashion designer. But yeah, I really like how this all turned out. It'd be cool if this JBM logo could be some form of utility belt strappy wrappy around thing. But also, I don't have a name for this superhero, so if you have any ideas on what to name my superhero, then leave a comment below. So we are getting there, and we're past the point of most of the shaping, and now I just want to go in and do the shading. So I said shaping, and then we're doing shading. As I said that, I'm like, wow, those words kind of sound the same since I'm doing this voiceover at night, so I'm not as articulate as I normally would be in the daytime hours. Um, but yeah, so I'm kind of amazed that I got all this done decently proportional. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. But again, those circular oval shapes that I did in the very beginning before I filmed definitely helps with drawing the body parts. It's pretty amazing um, how that technique works. Again, there's only so much talent, and then there's technique that goes with things. So I'm really happy that even like the legs and the boots came out pretty good. So I'm kind of proud of myself just because I really, really, really haven't drawn by hand like this since maybe 2010. And that's pushing it. Maybe even before that a little bit. Um, so, that's oh, Dexter's trying to peek out again. Um, that's 12 years. That's a dozen of years that have gone by, and I haven't drawn a thing. So, I mean, that's not true. In my on my other channel where I do nails, I have drawn anime on my nails, which is insane, by the way. Um, so that's a form of drawing, but it's different because it's like basically with paint, I guess, on a micro scale, like super micro scale. But yeah, I haven't been able to do drawings like this. So, I mean, clearly, I don't even know where my pencils are. I even have like a mechanical style pencil. It's not what you think. It's like one of those old school ones that has a full bar of lead that you slip into it. And I have that in different hard softnesses or hardnesses. I don't know. Depending on the lead. And I don't even know where that mechanical pencil is. I have a feeling I left it somewhere in one of my jobs in the past. So that's kind of sad, along with the sharpener. Oh, yeah. So I should probably, if I think I'm going to be drawing again, I should probably invest in that and um, draw the right way. I mean, there's no real wrong way to draw, but I mean, it's so much easier to get the line weights you want when you change up the hardness of your lead. So that's the main reason why, um, people have come up with different hardnesses sets. If you go to a craft store, they sell them in a box set, and there's different. And like, oh wow, that's all look like pencils to me, So, but yeah, I think I have like a bunch of number twos lying around. So who knows? I might just use number twos from now on. I mean, no one's gonna use them. It was like one of those once upon a time of ago things, and you buy a box of like freaking 24 or 36 or whatever pencils, and then you use two, and then that's it. So, and I'm even using my my drafting brush. For those of you that don't know, I used to do architecture, and I had a drafting board, and that's my drafting brush. And we did do hand drawings on like tracing paper or vellum. And yeah, it was a fun time those times. And now everything's on computers. So um, yeah, the day of the golden age is over. At any rate, so now I'm just going to be putting in some of the body definition, if you will, like where muscle and tendon poke out of the skin, I guess. And mind you, I'm not like even a dozen years ago when I was drawing, I was not doing things like this. I'll tell you that much. I'm more of like an image drawer, so I've mostly drawn objects, um, obviously landscapes, buildings, not people, and not like full grown people. Like I've done faces and busts, from the chest up, but not full body. So I'm really freaking myself out right now. As you can imagine, for someone that hasn't drawn in like, over a decade, and I'm diving in on a human being here. It's crazy. And you know what? When I thought of this, I was just gonna do a chest up drawing so that I can accentuate the style of the nails for my channel, and that didn't happen. So this might be like it might not go with my channel, but I spent the time on it. She has long nails, and I'm just gonna rock it on my channel. So head on over there and check it out once it's up. It'll probably up if you're watching this now because I wanted to post this video on here first. And see, it looks like super long fingers, but I'm just gonna darken that up a little bit after, and hopefully they'll look like nails. But yeah, so it sucks being a lefty because I mean, I guess it would suck righty as well because I have to look at my hands because I just want to be sure that I'm getting the proper proportions on the hand and how they work. And yeah, it's hard to do that when you're drawing. I mean, they actually sell hand models so that you can take a look at it and sketch it. Some people work better when there's a subject in front of them. In most cases for me, I don't. So I have to rely on hope and the eraser. Um, but yeah, so in my stance, I'm gripping the bow with my right hand and pulling up. And then as I'm pulling up the bow on the lower end, I'm kind of resting my wrist on the bow and just guiding it. So my fingers are dangling and my nails are sticking out. So hopefully that is what you're seeing. Again, it looks more like a Wolverine kind of look. Or who had the blades on the fingers? Was it Sabretooth? Anyway, that's an X-Men thing. But yeah. So we are getting there. I really tried to shorten this video as much as I can. This time-lapse video is sped up 3 times. And it took me about an hour and 30 minutes to do all of this. So I thought that was not that bad. It's definitely half the time it takes me to do my long nails, and around the same time it takes me to do my short nails. So this was just like another day in the office recording an hour and a half. But yeah, I just wish that like I can record closer without cutting off the image because there's just so much definition that I'm seeing on my end in person while I'm drawing this. Like, I'm not blending, I'm actually cross hatching. It's a technique, a shading technique in drawing that actually drafters that used to hand draft back in the day do. So I'm just crisscrossing lines to make my shadows. Um, I could have gone as far as stippling. Stippling is basically like tapping the point of your pencil or whatever you're writing with and making dots. I think my hand got tired just then. And making dots close together to form a shadow. But that takes forever. So cross hatching it is. And each time I'm trying to get in there and define the body more. Again, I'm not even in shape. This is probably more in shape than I am at this point. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I started to work out again just literally this week. So hopefully I can get to this point, but yeah, I'm not well versed in bodies and how they should look, especially when it comes to the muscles. Um, but I'm trying my best and trying to divine it as I go. Hair, I love to do. We're obviously going for some over exaggerated anime type hair. Um, I have long hair. It's not as full as I'm drawing it today, but I absolutely love this superhero's hair. Leave a comment below if you agree at the end of this. But yeah, we all wish we can have hair like this. But this actually, I started to do hair like this whenever I get a chance to draw people. I like to draw hair like this because there was a place in my hometown that I used to go to get my hair cut. And I was always doing like face framing layers everywhere, and I would get the whole wash and dry and blow dry and style. And there was this huge, maybe 4x4 or 5x5 foot frame of an image. It looked like stained glass of some woman. Obviously, it's promoting the hair. So she had like a full load of hair, and it was kind of like floating behind her, and similar to what I'm drawing, but it was all stained glass. So it was like different pieces of glass to make the different colored layers of her hair, with shadow and light, and it was just the really coolest thing I've ever seen at that time. So I can't do stained glass because I've seen these like tutorials on it, and it's like super crazy, um, involving like solder and blow torches and all, but but I'll draw it. So yeah, whenever I have the opportunity to draw people, they might look like crap, but they'll have a whole good head of hair. So as you can see, it's coming along. I'm trying to do some shading, and I realized I'm going to go back in and do even more shading to better define. I tend to be light-handed with my drawing that have been told over the years of taking art classes. So I always have to remember to go back in and darken things up. So right now, and I'm looking at it, it looks like a light-haired superhero, and my hair is darker than that, so I'm just gonna make the hair darker, but I don't want it to be too dark to where my hair is pretty dark. Um, but I don't want it to steal the show. So I don't want the bodice to be lost in the hair. So we're gonna darken it up, but not too much. So I am liking the light and the shadows that I'm creating, but I'm totally gonna be diminishing most of it. And we'll be just blending the light in to the hair subtly. So again, one of my favorites. You can see it, like, it's part of this inspiration too, is that I'm a huge fan of The Little Mermaid. And if you've seen her movie, her hair, her bangs are like swept up, and it looks so full and so big. And so that's kind of where I got the hair on the top there, just flowing. Um, I also was born and raised in New Jersey. So if you're a Jerseyan, um, it's not quite like other states, but we go big too. So we have big hair, we have gaudy everything. You can only imagine. So I'm just gonna, get a little carried away with the hair here. I'm loving how this is looking out. It is totally coming together better than I thought it would, to be honest. I went, again, Artsy DSC, I watch her videos. They're short and quick too, and she does so many different things, and it's inspiring me to draw as well. But when you haven't done something in forever, and I didn't think that I was that great to begin with, it's like you get a little intimidated, like, oh, I don't have to. I even told her, I was like, I'm gonna think about doing this challenge. Um, because honestly, I wasn't sure that I was gonna be able to do it and succeed. But at this point, for sure, I definitely feel happy with what I produced here today. Um, yeah, let me know if this is something that I should be continuing with on this channel. On this channel, we do obviously isms and things, and that is unlimited to anything. I say this on my other channel, but I'm working on a book, and one of these days, mark my words, it's gonna be done, and I'm gonna post it on here. It's gonna be, I can't really divulge specifics, so you won't know what I'm saying now, but it's gonna be kind of cool, something you could definitely use and watch over and over again. And I'm excited, and I really need to just buckle down one day, or a month or two, and just write. It's just really hard to write because there's so many distractions, and so many things that you end up wanting to do that it just gets in the way. Life is just unexpected, and there's so many things going on up, and there is Dexter's butt. Um, but yeah, so it's really hard, but there will be the day. Oh, there he is. He's like my guy, my supervisor. It's like, you missed a spot, mama. But anyway, yeah, there will be a day where I post that book on here. Um, it's been one of my goals. Like, I come up with all these story ideas. Wow, that sounds terrible. With all these ideas to write a book, and like, since I was middle school, high school, and then these things end up getting, or at least they end up becoming popular, and I'm like, goodness gracious, I had that idea years ago. So, and in my road to post high school education in college, I totally screwed up in my entrance exam. So I had to take like umpteenth amounts of English classes, which included like a writing class. So I actually learned the technique of writing a lot of things. So I definitely want to uh, use that before I lose it. Just like in drawing, maybe it'll come back, once I do it. But yeah, so another thing that I have to mention today, because I freaked myself out. See, like my mind is just going everywhere, but I was freaking out today because I used to be part of a stepping group. And if you don't know what a stepping group is, I guess if you haven't seen Stomp or anything, and I'm not Stomp, okay? This was like high school stepping group, not professional stepping groups, but there's Dexter again. There was a few performances that we would do on high school prep rallies. Pep rallies, not prep rallies. And I almost forgot them. I was just, for some reason, I was thinking about it while I was editing this video, and I freaked out and I walked out into the living room and I started to step the routine to make sure that I didn't forget. And my husband's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, nothing." And I'm like stomping and clapping and stuff. He's like, "Are you clapping?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just trying to remember what I did." Um, so I remembered, so I feel better now. But that I had to mention because, things of the past. But here I'm signing my name, as every artist does on their drawings. And this is the finished drawing here. It's my superhero, myself as a superhero. You can see the long nails because I have long nails. But there you have it. This is Isms and Things. Thank you so much, Artsy DSC, for this contest opportunity. I'll be submitting this. I'm going to be putting the short on my regular channel, IsmsBy Josie. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.